Welcome in to our Football Friday Night Countdown show, where we're recapping what happened to teams last year and we're previewing what they'll look like this year. So let's get going. After 3 straight state title losses, the Bentonville Tigers are back and they're ready to make it 4 straight appearances. But obviously, they're hoping for a different result this year in Little Rock. They haven't won a state title in 10 years, but Coach Joey Grant believes this year can be the year. Now, while they have an entirely new O-line and a new QB as the full-time starter, they are returning All-State running back Chris Ficklin, who's looking to have a big senior year, as well as great depth in the wide receiver room, helping out that offense as a whole. Led by DeQuain Prevost and Blair Irvin the third. As for the defense, they return their entire D-line, as well as their All-State linebacker Eli Pearson. And with that returning cast, Coach knows they are closer than ever to that championship.
We just got to play better. We got to eliminate mistakes, eliminate turnovers, and have some things go our way. The last 2 state championship games are games that, the few breaks go different. Those may look different, but it doesn't work like that. You've got to, we didn't win the games, and the only thing I can say is it motivates us the next year. But it would be nice for our kids to come away with a championship. I think this program deserves that.
Bentonville will open up the season this Friday on the road at Union out in Tulsa. Moving across town, after a rough start to the 2024 season, the Bentonville West Wolverines are back this year and are ready to start out on a hotter note in 2025. And that is going to begin with the leader of the offense in senior Trey Thompson, a guy who after his junior year holds multiple Bentonville West records, including touchdown passes in a game while throwing for over 3,200 yards. He's a guy who loves to run the ball as well, though, as in their playoff game against Bentonville, he had 4 rushing touchdowns in the loss. Now, the Wolverines will also have some experience on the defensive end with 8 returning starters, and with that experience and the momentum from the end of the 24 season, when in a playoff game after that 0-6 start, head coach Brian Pratt knows that with the character of this team, the Wolverines can get past anything.
I think it was a big deal for our program, to start off like that and then to battle back and win a playoff game shows you a little bit about the character of our kids and the way we built our program. And so we're really excited about the 25 season, and we get some guys coming back that can have really special seasons.
The Wolverines will start their season on a tough note, though, as they have to take on the defending 6A state champion, Greenwood Bulldogs, that one on the road. Now let's look at another 7A team, that being the Rogers Mounties. Now, for the last 4 years, Rogers has consistently been one of the top teams in the state. However, each of those years, they've fallen short of the ultimate goal. The Mounties have won in the first round of the playoffs at home in those 4 years, however, would go on to lose in round 2 on the road. But this year could look different, as the Mounties will be returning a huge portion of their team, including their wide receiver group and 2-time All-State quarterback Jeff Reagan, who can do just about anything with the ball in his hands. As for the defensive side of things, well, the front 7, they are going to be one to be reckoned with as well, according to their head coach Chad Harbison. And with all this experience on the field, all that's left is putting them in a position to make a run to Little Rock.
Our focus is just to try to do a better job in the regular season so we can get ourselves in a better position going into the playoffs. So I think it's all really based off just how well can we play, through the conference, and can we put ourselves in a position, to possibly receive a bye and maybe get ourselves in a better shape for the second round, maybe play at home instead of being on that road second round. So I think that'd be key for us.
Rogers heading on the road to North Little Rock to start their season. And sticking with the theme of 7A, the Springdale Bulldogs return and are looking to build off their best season since 2018 this year. The Bulldogs finished both years 7-4, but are looking to avoid the fall that happened last time around. However, it will be challenging as the underdogs of 7A are no longer under the radar, as success brings attention. But true to their mascot, they are tough, stout, courageous, tenacious, stubborn, and determined in the face of their competition. And it helps they bring back some key players on both sides of the ball, including Rancel Oriana and Carson Hayter, 2 of the pieces that made that run-heavy offensive engine go last year, combining for 967 yards on the ground. They also have several of their top tacklers back on the field on defense, and with a new confidence and that old Red Dog attitude, these dogs are ready to prove their bite is worse than their bark.
Our identity or our theme is always RDT, and that stands for Red Dog Tough. And so we want to bring toughness in everything that we do. You know, we may not win every game, but we want to be competitive, and we want each team to know that, hey, we're just in a dogfight with the Springdale Bulldogs. And they've really, you know, bought into that system, and we feel like if we have that type of mindset that we can go out there and compete each and every Friday.
Springdale starts their campaign on the road at Central. All right, let's check in now with the Gentry Pioneers. Gentry is coming off their best season since 2019, and they are back and ready for better this year. However, they are losing a lot of their key players to graduation, only returning 9 of their 22 starters from 2024. But one key guy who is coming back, their quarterback, Talon Williams, and he'll have most of his receivers from last year as well to throw to. And on the other side, with a good chunk of the ball hawks coming back, the secondary, they're also looking pretty good. Now, while the offensive and defensive line will be young guys, head coach Tyler Clark tells us that young doesn't necessarily mean bad, and he's confident in their ability to play in 2025. And while Coach Clark is grateful for last year's team and all they accomplished, all of his focus is now on this year's team.
Every team's different, right? So we graduate that group, and that group did a great job of helping us build our culture and what we're trying to do. And no doubt this year's group is trying to beat that, but it may look different, right? What this group achieves may look different than what the group achieves last year or what the group next year achieves. And so they definitely last year laid the foundation for us to compete for conference championships.
Gentry strapping up the helmets against Pea Ridge in their first game. All right, time to talk Van Buren. The Pointers are coming off a difficult year, but are back and ready to take on that gauntlet that we know as the 6A West. However, before they worry about taking on the likes of Greenwood and Shiloh Christian, they have to worry about who is going to be under center, as Coach Henry Moe has yet to decide between last year's starter, Hayden Wilford, and Tristan Ray, who was leading the QB competition last year before tearing his ACL. However, whoever QB1 is, with 3 returning O-linemen, a great running back room, and a plethora of Pointer potent pass catchers, they are set up for success. That being said, Henry believes the best unit on this Pointers team will be the front 7 on defense, as quite a few seniors occupy those spots. And with those guys leading the way and 2 straight years with playoff wins for the first time since the 90s, the Dogs believe they're pointing in the right direction in 2025.
You know, 4-8 isn't something that we're sitting here, you know, walking around throwing parades and stuff for. We know we have to get over that hump. We know we play in a very competitive conference, but it is what it is. We control what we control. So our game plan is to go out there, take it one game at a time, and the overall season goal for us to get into the playoffs is to be able to put ourselves in position to host a playoff game.
That pursuit for home field advantage starts August 29th. The Pointers hosting the Alma Airedales. Now, as we know, there's no better drama than that which is played out under the Friday night lights on that stage. For example, getting your new head coach from your conference rival. Enter the Harbor Wildcats. After going 2-9 last season, they went out and got a guy that knows a thing or two about winning in the 7A, Bentonville's offensive coordinator, Aaron Dannenhauer, who helped lead the Tigers to 3 state title games in a row. And for the new man in charge, this is the dream job and a homecoming, as he got his start at Harbor back in 2007. And, you know, it's simply not home without family, which is why he'll be the first to tell you that this isn't all about him. It's about this team and the bond that they've created as experience meets a renewed optimism this season.
My biggest goal with this team is that I've brought a different energy to the team and a sense of family, unity, and to get these guys to love and enjoy playing football again and doing it the right way. You know, that's my biggest thing, is I want these kids to enjoy it. I want us as coaches to coach their hearts and to do it for the right reasons again, because I truly believe as we come together, become a family, that takes care of a lot of things.
Harbor gets Broken Arrow in week 1 of their season. And finally, we end on the Fayetteville Bulldogs, the 2023 7A state champions, who are on a quest to reclaim their crown after being dethroned last year. In their title defense season, the Purple Dogs seemed primed to make a run to repeat. But after earning a first-round bye, they were shockingly eliminated in their playoff debut, bringing their year to a close with an 8-3 record. However, after an offseason to lick their wounds, the double-digit starters that are returning are more motivated than ever to take this team back to the pinnacle. Because if you know anything about Fayetteville football, you know these dogs are always in the fight. And this year, in order to replicate that championship success, they look to channel their inner Ricky Bobby. They want to go fast.
You know, I think one of the things we'll hang our hat on is just playing fast, you know, both from offense, defense, and special teams. You know, just really trying to put some pressure on everybody. We feel like we obviously have a little bit of team speed that we can utilize in a variety of areas. So feel good about that, and just really building on that and letting us go play as fast as we can.
Fayetteville faces Cabot first. All right, that is it. All the talk is over. It is time to play ball, and we will have all of those game highlights for you every Friday night at 10 p.m. on our Football Friday Night Show, which I hope to see you there.